while we've been doing these shows since before it was cool, these days thrifting is a full-blown culture. So we want to talk a little bit about why we love it so much and just the culture of it. Because, Jules, I'm sure you have been thrifting for a long time and have never really seen any shame in that. Am I right?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, no. I mean, there's always sort of been that, but I mean, I'm a little older, but like in the beginning, for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me initially, I think the first time I ever like went thrifting was my grandmother's closet. And all these dresses, and my grandma had an attic, and there was all this stuff. And then I went into a thrift shop, and I'm like, oh my God, it's other people's grandma's stuff. This is amazing. It's like so much. And I just became absolutely obsessed with that idea.
It's good to have that. It is good to know that you can sort of jump into it. Because I know for me, like even when we had distressed denim as a trend for a while, my mom was like, you're wearing those on TV? Yeah. You're wearing the ripped pants, you look poor.
Yes.
So there's this whole like immigrant experience of trying not to look like you are in poverty or have to get things secondhand.
Yeah.
And so it's a harder transition into accepting thrifting and secondhand and knowing that these secondhand economies are actually really, really good for the environment and for us. So, Mary, how has your experience been thrifting? How do your parents feel about it?
Well, like you said, I'm an immigrant.
Yeah.
So when we moved here, thrifting was a necessity. So my parents had to thrift. It wasn't this cool, glamorous thing. It was more like, I need to put clothes on my children's back when they go to school. And again, like they didn't want us to look like we were thrifting. So watching them kind of MacGyver their way through all of that and giving us essentially everything we wanted and needed just secondhand. Yeah. You know, it's tough as a kid to go through that, but as an adult now, I see like how fabulous it can be.
Yeah. It's so interesting to see that full circle, though. Because you probably never thought there would be a moment where not only are you okay with it, you're celebrated for doing it.
Exactly.
Which is so awesome. How about you, Daniel? Like, growing up, was thrifting a thing?
So I owe all my thrifting knowledge to my husband and my mom. My mom's a coupon queen. She has always been. She knows how to find a deal.
Yeah.
But my parents came from very humble beginnings. Yeah. So it was a part of our life. And nowadays, I mean, everything that was out is in again, right? I'm wearing a head-to-toe 90s look for that reason. Yes. It was in a thrift shop. Yeah. So I think it's important to acknowledge that thrifting is very important, and it saves us money, which is at the end of the day what we need to do most of.
That's right. Yeah. Now, I think that there's also different levels of thrifting. So now to go into a thrift shop, like my kids' generation, they think it's cool, which is great. And I remember being in that, you know, Kensington Market, if you're in Toronto, is an area where there's a lot of thrifting happening. And I remember going there in high school and feeling very cool, going to the military store and getting our cargo pants and, you know, our moto jackets and all that stuff. But I'm wondering, what is the next step, and what are the barriers that are still there to getting people in a place where they don't want to necessarily exchange money? They just want to barter. What do you think, Jules? Like, what do you see as the big sort of thing that's stopping this from going even bigger?
You know what? I think it is. Like, I think we're really getting closer and closer and closer. I mean, exactly that. Like, you think of like kids that want to thrift. Everybody wants to thrift. You know, I think it's really understanding, and I think honestly, sort of economies like this make people realize that it's not just about, you know, it's about saving money. It's about looking great, and that sort of level of sophistication, I think, is what's really helping fit thrifting. When you see celebrities, when you see people that are doing it for that reason, it gets everyone going, hey, that's so fun.
Yeah. There's little things that I wanted to do for this season, and one of them is wear my outfits again and again and again.
Yes.
So if we start seeing people wearing the same clothing again and again and again, then it becomes not a, oh my gosh, didn't you wear that pink outfit on the thrift show? It becomes, how can I rework my wardrobe as well and wear the same things again and again, and just making it that it's okay to not constantly be consumers.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? Because that's sort of where society has gotten. Yeah, you like that?
That's a good one.
That rewear.
Do you two have any goals, any thrifting goals that you have for yourself that you want to start doing?
For me, I've entered into this phase of like refurbishing vintage furniture. So I go on like Marketplace or just even in the street, you can
Yeah.
find, and again, I love solid wood as well. Anything solid wood, it's hopping in my trunk and it's coming home with me.
Yeah.
So whenever I find that stuff, you just don't get quality material like that anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Daniel?
For me, we're going into nesting season, right? So I want to decorate the house. Vintage frames are really important for me. I
nice.
love going shopping for those and then framing family photos that you can find like a deal to print some photos and do that and decorate the home, fill it with beautiful memories. That's my big one right now.
Oh, lovely.